you're working so terribly hard, but we don't understand just what it is to have the responsibility that you have. And he was sitting there, and at one point he just put his head down and he was in deep thought. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, you have absolutely no idea, he said, how much I'm carrying. He said, when I get out and I make a speech, I'm in front of millions of people. He said, they're watching every word. He said, I miss one word, they're ready to pounce. He said, but I'm not just thinking of you. He said, everything we do connects to everybody else in the world. He said, I'm carrying the weight of the world. And it made me think of how much responsibility we don't know that you folks have with all the decisions.
Well, the president, and the limos we don't have too. And the limos we don't have either. But the folks, I mean, the president obviously has got a great deal of responsibility, but people every day have a great deal of responsibility to try to make the state more affordable, to try to make government more accountable, and you try to work in the short term and in the long term to find those solutions that will accomplish those goals. And it's very important, and you try to work, you know, I mean, there shouldn't be a Republican proposal and a Democratic proposal. There should be a bipartisan proposal, because by finding those bipartisan solutions, you can accomplish great things. And sometimes one party gets it right, sometimes the other party gets it right, and the good public servants are those individuals who can work across partisan lines, never betraying their principles. You've always got to keep your principles dear. But you've got to work across party lines to accomplish the goals that will make, you know, Westfield more affordable, for example.
And for me, being in business, I please basically who I want to please. If I think I need to bring more business in, I need to please more people. If I have a core area of business, I can focus on pleasing those people. But for you, you need to stretch that to please as many people as you can, not only your constituents, but your colleagues, because to get anything done, you've got to work so hard with so many different people with so many different views.
Well, we try to get as many people involved in the process as possible, and that's why in this presidential election year, getting more people out to vote is very important. Making sure, you know, one of the first bills that I tried to get through was expanding the voting hours so that more commuters could vote before they went to work, to try to get more, and also try to get more young people involved in the voting process. I vote the bill that allows 17 and 18-year-olds to work at polling places, so that we can get more young people involved, and making sure that people are starting out there, 18 years old and beyond, that they're actually voting. And you know, believe me, I've been a big fan of yours and your food and everything that you do, and we've had you to the house on a whole host of occasions and had parties here. And I'll tell you this, you do a great job.
Thank you. You know, I just find it interesting that understanding what any issue is so important. And a funny story that goes along with that. I opened my business downtown, and we have our Downtown Westfield Corporation that manages the downtown. And I never knew anything about them. I never understood them. I'm just going to demo one little thing here that you can make some of these little packets. We've got a piece of prosciutto, and we're going to take a little spoon of, this is some smoked mozzarella. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold the sides over a little bit, even if it's ripped a little bit. We're going to fold it over, and then we're going to just kind of roll this up. So whatever way works for you. We're just going to make a couple of those little packets with this, and actually we can put these finished packets right back here. So anyway, I remember listening to the executive director, Michael LaPlace at the time. This is going back to the year 2000. And he was misquoted so many times that I remember saying to my wife, you know, I'm going to go downtown and punch this guy in the nose. You know, he's just all fired up, talking kind of heatedly. And what I did was I went downtown and I got involved with the organization. That was in 2000, and I'm still involved on a different level, but I managed to become a chairman for a couple of years. And once I understood what the organization was about, I was so much more sympathetic to problems that were happening downtown, and more interested in changing sides from one of the complainers to one of the people trying to think about solutions. And so understanding all of our issues is so very important. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up the flame, and I'm going to have to put our vent system on, because I'm going to heat this pan, and we're going to sear that tuna on a couple of different sides. So let me switch the vent on. May make a bit of noise for us, but we'll. I'm sure we can both project enough that everyone can hear us.
We can try, and the microphone helps. The microphone helps.
Absolutely. Now you have 2 young daughters, and a lovely wife, and I've been at your home when your wife is scurrying around, trying to feed the kids, and you look like you really have a well-balanced life. You spend a lot of time with your family. You
as much as possible.
And devote a tremendous amount of time to us, which we're all thankful for. Any tips on how that process becomes easy or manageable?
Well, my wife Rhonda's wonderful.
Oh,
absolutely a spectacular individual, and she is an incredible mother, an incredible wife. Very loves and is passionate about Westfield as well. And unfortunately, one of the things about public service is that you do spend a lot of time away from your family, and you do miss a lot of things. And I've worked hard, and Rhonda's helped keep me on track to make sure that I don't miss many of the important events, the plays and the school things. I mean, we're only a short walk to our school.
It's
so
funny
it's easy.
Because you say that about missing things. People that I talk to know that I didn't always do food. I was, in fact, in the insurance industry for a long period of time. And when people ask me how I'm doing here, oftentimes people associate that with money, and they say, so how you doing? You're making a lot of money? And I say to people, well, I'm probably making less money than I was making 10 years ago. But on a totally different level, I live, I work, and I vote in the same ward.
Right.
So for me, I think I'm really enjoying the American dream.
Right.
And the money is just something that helps you live. So if you can make enough to survive and enjoy your family and feel like you're making a difference volunteering and enjoy your work. Somebody once told me, find something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life.
It's a great saying. It's a great saying, and people have to fight hard to find things that they're passionate about. And one of the things I think that we need to focus on at a state level is allowing people to pursue their passion. And whether it be in the arts, or whether it be in historical preservation, or in education, or small business.
And we're always looking for volunteers on every level, everywhere you go.
And Mayor Skibitsky's done a great job of, just like Mayor McDermott did before him, of bringing people of Westfield into the process to get involved in the boards and the commissions. And it's a very important part of the process, And I've been very, very blessed. I have a wonderful family, and Rhonda and the kids are absolutely spectacular.
You really stop and you look around at the simple things that you have, and you feel very blessed and very lucky. And that's just what we all need to do from time to time, regardless of what your financial situation or what your job situation. I always look at things that can change your life tremendously. And when you're down about something, you think, I could get a phone call anytime that could change my life negatively forever. So you look at what you have and you say, boy, I'm really going to stop and enjoy this.
There's a new book out that's been called The Go-Giver. I just finished reading, which is that part of the importance of life and part of the experience is reaching out and giving back and giving other people opportunities, and how success can be bred from giving other people opportunities.
I heard probably it was the tail end of an interview related to that book, and it talked about giving. Right. And it said, while there are no hard numbers to translate this into dollars or anything else, that it's proven that there's a definite positive correlation with how much you give and how much you get back. Right. Be it financially, be it emotionally, and the more time people volunteer, they say is directly related to the level of happiness. Right. So, that being said, I don't know how it could be any easier to say to people. We're going to just saute these a little bit.